Alright, hello there, everyone. This is going to be round 2 of Swiss for the Adelaide Regionals. We've got a live commentary going on here. I've actually just lost the feed, but we're going to get it back immediately. We're going to have Jesse and Sam, both from Melbourne, coming down to Adelaide to play for us, and it's going to be a good game. Looks like we are going to get underway. So, my quality's not that good, so you're going to have to forgive me if it's a little bit dicey, but it looks like an NEH and a Kate, so that should be a good matchup. So Jesse's starting strong with the hedge fund. So yeah, going to be stuck with me for the rounds of Swiss. When we go to top 8, I'm going to try and get a co-commentator, but for now you're just going to be stuck with me, it looks like. So, and yeah, this is commentary's live. I'm going to do all the post about all that, but that's all for later. So yeah, that's a strong start. Indexing is going to be a bit dangerous. I mean, we're not sure what NEH this is yet, but I'm pretty sure Sam on the left is going to know now. Like, I mean, with 5 cards off the top, I don't think there's a way you don't figure it out. Now, we're not seeing exactly what's in the hand. Will he run again for points? I mean, if he knows it's a butcher shop, that's not going to be good. If he knows it's a butcher shop or something like that, because Jesse has a lot of money. So much money, so, I mean, if he runs, he's probably just straight up dead. So he might be bluffing out here, just trying to, yep, alright, so he's going to take the NAPD. So I guess he's not that scared of a butcher shop. Maybe he knows maybe he knows what it is. I mean, they came down together. It's like before, this is the second round, and they got seated up. And immediately they comment, yeah, we came all the way down to Adelaide just to play together. Which is yeah, fair enough, I guess. Alright, so we're going to go for multiple installs. Looks like that second one was an agenda, but I'm not sure. I mean, going 2 down against NEH is not really the best. But we should see what happens here. I mean, a couple of assets out. Maybe an agenda. Loads of money for NEH. K's doing pretty well as well. No prepaids yet. No significant... I hesitate to use the word assets, but, no significant assets as of yet, but again, a strong start for 2 points. Getting stuff in hand. Alright, Plaskery goes down. Yeah, that's sweet alt-art Plaskery. Yeah, that's strong. Okay, so it wasn't an agenda. I'm just misseeing everything. It's a pad. But I mean, still, pad's strong. Gets that money going. The forces the runner to do something about it, or just Corp sort of just gets money. Let's see what else happens here. Second asset's, I don't know, I'm guessing it's either a Jackson or a marked accounts maybe. Nope, it's a Sansan, so we're going to see a score out. Nothing Kate can really do about that, so Astro's out. Yeah, that's going to put Jess in a very powerful position here. I mean, having that Astro token and the Sansan, Kate's not on too much money, so a money card would be pretty good right now. And he also still knows what's on the top of R&D, I think. I think there's still 1 card left on R&D that he knows about. I could be miscounting, though. I haven't been keeping track too much. So we'll see what happens. I think the Sansan is probably a priority. Yep, and he's going to go get rid of it. I think that's the right move, definitely. Oh, no, hang on. Is he going to... Yeah, no, he's gone. Getting mildly confused. And he's still got enough money for a short gamble, so I don't know, I'm probably just going mathly. Yeah, again, I can't really see the tokens properly. Hopefully in post this will all come out and I'll have to annotate all my copious mistakes. but that's fine. So yeah, unlike the usual videos where it's 1 game at a time, I'll be going for the full round videos just because it's a lot easier with the setup. I'm currently sitting about 7 feet away from the players with a with a fancy little microphone and an iPad. Oh, actually, no, it's a Samsung tablet. Whatever, doesn't matter. Trying to look at the game. Yeah. So I mean, NEH again, it's a strong position right now. I mean, that looks like about 5 credits. That's enough to hedge fund. He's got the pad money coming in. And he's got that Astro token, which is really important. And I mean, as soon as he gets bunch of things. Oh, so he's going to same old thing for the indexing. Like, I mean, I guess you see that coming, right? I mean, you got to see that coming. If you're not going to ISO R&D, I'm going to assume Jesse just hasn't seen any ice, or he's just wanted to kind of focus on scoring out. So 2 clicks left. I mean, if he's going to take the agendas, he's going to take the agendas. Still loads of money on Kate, so... Another NAPD. I mean, that's not what you want to see. You want to see the Beals, you want to see the Astros. Even the breaking newses, just make sure the Corp doesn't get them, because it's significantly more annoying if they can't just point one at the table and say I win. So again, both players still in a strong position. Having to score both those. It's going to be another Sand score. And he's going to use the shipment to get out the Beal. So I mean, it's 4-all, but I feel like NEH has a better 4. If anything, just because Kate had to pay 8, and I mean, even as prepaid Kate, especially when you don't have any prepaids out, 8 is a lot. 8 is a significant amount. Ooh, now that's a really good... Imp's not a splash you see that often. Imp is not a splash you see that often, but we're going to see it out, and that's going to get rid of the Sand for $2. That's really, really strong. Jesse's still on the really... I mean, this game's moving so quickly. And I guess that's exactly what you want to do. I mean, you're NEH. I'm going to assume now that it's probably not a butcher shop of some kind, although, again, I haven't seen any cards to indicate one way or the other. Can't really get a look at the hand unless I kind of lead around the corner. Which I could do, but I won't. I see the Beal at hand. He could just score it out and move to 6. But I feel like that's not the best move. You might just do it. I mean, it's not really the worst move. It moves you to 6. If you score a breaking news, you just win. Yeah, so he's going to do it. I'm not sure. I mean, it's a bit dangerous. I mean, you got the shipment from Sand, so you're not going to go to like $0 or no dollars at all. But you're still a little precarious in situation. And he's going to get the breaking news. So that's game 1. Yeah, again, scoring out those 6 points. I'm not sure whether you had it in hand. If you had it in hand, it's obvious. And yeah, it looks like it wasn't Biotics deck. So that's a quick game. What was that, like 5 minutes? Sounded like about 5 minutes. And I think that's exactly how the Biotics wants to work. You just get so much money that you can just res Sands all over the place, and then you just win. And if the runner can't keep up, you just keep winning. That Imp was a really good play, but I don't think prepaid Kate wins that unless you just get really lucky. I mean, the fact that all Sam saw off those indexings, I mean, the 10 cards is a lot. All he saw was NAPDs. That's just... It's rough. And again, like, having to pay 10... Sorry, 8. What am I talking about? Where the hell did 10 come from? He had to pay 8 for NAPDs. Then he has to pay another 5 for that Sand, because if you don't pay for it, you just kind of implode. I feel like there was not much he could really do. I mean, he drew enough cards, he had a quality time down, he had a bunch of cards down. It was definitely I think he's definitely making the right moves, but sometimes you just can't do it. And I mean, I guess he could run hand a bit more, like maybe like he wasn't sure whether Jesse had him all in hand and just kind of didn't run because of that. But anyway, so we're moving on to game 2 now. They're going to do a much pile shuffling, so got a bit of time to talk about matchup. I mean, they've both brought pretty, if I may say, meta decks, prepaid Kates. I mean, I'm just going to assume it's a prepaid Kate. I can't really see what else it is. An RP. RP, again, very, very, very strong. Very strong. This indicates to me that they've built their decks recently because there's all this pile shuffling, but that's just an assumption. Yeah, I mean, if prepaid Kate here doesn't, against RP, I feel like you've got to get your economy going as soon as possible, because then you can go trash all the Corp's economy. But if you just don't, you kind of just fall behind, and as soon as the Corp can get out that NEC token, you're playing from behind until you can get rid of it. So hopefully a lot of pressure is going to come on in early from Kate, and RP's just hoping for that early Sundew or early this or early that. It's a lot of things that could be. Right. So it looks like we're going to start with a mulligan on both sides. So we might have an interesting first start here. Still got my thermos of coffee. So yeah, you'll note with, notice that we skipped the first round. We decided to do that for logistics, really. Don't worry, you probably didn't miss much. So today's 5 rounds of Swiss, then we're going to cut to 8. So we've got 24 players here. That's a pretty good turnout for Adelaide. I mean, I say we got these 2 people from Melbourne. Melbourne's kind of cool to come all the way down just for a bloody tournament. So that's pretty cool. And 24 is a pretty good turnout. I mean, we get about 10 to 14 for casual tournaments, so a little influx for the regionals tournament. I mean, I guess it is the big one, so. Alright, so RP looking like they've got a really good start with a bunch of ice. I'm going to start with celebrity gifts. I mean, the economy is already busting out. Only 1 click left, so I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, so it's going to protect HQ. Sorry, that's R&D. Wow. I get too conditioned towards how people play. These two playing the opposite direction, and I get, oh my god, and now I don't think they are. It's way too early in the morning, and I still haven't finished this coffee, and I really, really should finish this. Oh my lordy, this is fantastic. I am going to enjoy this. It's a Stealth Kate. Oh boy. So yeah, probably actually not prepaid. Stealth Kate's interesting. I'm not 100% convinced that Stealth Kate is better than Stealth Haley, but by the same token, I think they can both be exceptionally strong. Kate, just because Kate gets out the rig for on the cheap, and Haley because she just goes fast. The problem with Haley over Kate is that you need to get more real dollars, which is sometimes difficult. Like, you can use the personal workshop and like stim hacks, but it's still a bit dodgy. Finding all the real dollars is often important. I tried to do it at one point with like an inside man, which actually kind of worked, because you inside man with career fairs, and then you've got like 2 silences, and then you just career fair out the inside man, and you're hunky-dory because you've got like 1 billion credits over the course of the game to install all this hardware that you want to install, and it's really good. So Stealth Kate getting off to a really good start. I mean, 1 silencer and 1 lockpick isn't that much, but again, it's a lot of pieces that you're better with than without. Alright, so Corpse side, which I haven't actually talked about much about, because I do like, I like decks that aren't prepaid Kate. Screw me, right? I kid, but so Corpse going very sideways. We haven't seen 2 ice on a server yet. We see the Jackson out, we see a mental health clinic, so a bit of extra hand size for Jesse, but also that drip economy starting up. I'm sure he would have preferred it to be a Sunju, but I don't know. Pentel's still pretty good. Okay, so Cloak, it turns on the Switchblade now. It's turning on Refractor, and it looks like he's using Corroder instead of Ladies. I'm not sure whether to use Corroder or Ladies anymore. Oh, and he's going to mod out the HQ interface. So a lot of pressure coming in. Modded's a card you don't see much. But I don't really see why. Modded is... Sorry, HQ interface is just a really good... I'm getting so confused. Again, I have not finished this coffee yet. Can't wait for top 8. I'll get a co-commentator and everything will be fine. But no, Modded's a really good card. I mean, it's the same reason why people like Career Fair. It's because you reduce your numbers that you need to play something and not lose a bunch of tempo. So, like, I mean, the obvious example is that. You have something that's worth 4, and you model it out for 1. And I mean, like, sure, you save 3 credits. Would you rather just have 3 real dollars? Sure, but here you have to pay less, so your tempos hit less. And now, so I mean, yeah, of course, the Corp's going to ice HQ for an effective 0 credits because they get the 1 from the mental health. But so Kate's going to have a little harder of a time getting in. I feel like you got to start pressuring soon. Like, you can't let RP snowball out. I mean, a hedge fund suddenly puts them on. I mean, it looks like 13 credits at the moment. That's a lot. Looks like you have to take credits. That's rough. I mean, there's not really much you can do. So he's going to show off Hedge Fund Jackson, Caprice, Susanoo. Susanu's actually not a big deal here, just because of Switchblade. Like, you just stealth credits and break.
Bit of ice as well. I mean, the Susanoo is obviously good. Hedge funds, I think, is the biggest deal there, because it's just more money, and it gets to the point of, critical mass of money, just all the money. All the money. He's going to put the Sunju down in the iced server. So, I mean, Jesse's got a choice here, I feel. I feel like he can get rid of most of his own economy. Not anymore, now he's got the gamble. That's really strong. That's a pretty good reason to take credits, I guess. So he's going to make a play for something. So he's going for archives, yep. I saw a Nisei in there, so there's definitely a good reason to shuffle Jackson back in. There's also a run on Essential. I guess you go for the Sunju? Hope it's like a crappy piece of ice, like a Himitsu Baku or something, and then just get in and trash. Getting rid of the Sunju, I think, is going to be the key to making sure this RP does not explode. I mean, because if you've got all the money to res, like, even just 2 toll boots in the Susanoo, it's not going to end up well for the runner. Because, I mean, even with stealth stuff, it's really rough. Alright, so we're going to see a swordsman here. I mean, you can crack for the Switchblade at this point, but you could also just ignore, take the net, and trash all your AI programs, where all equals 0. It depends on how much he likes the cards in his hand, I guess. Gotta think about this. I mean, he's got enough money to go get the Switchblade. I don't think he's installed anything this turn, so he's gonna go get it for 4 instead of 5. Yeah, he's gonna take the net. I feel like that's the right move. Like, oh, there you go. You need to get rid of the Deus Ex, like the incredibly relevant card in this deck. Against RP at least. I mean, I think it's good tech. Like, I think it's really solid tech, just in case you come up against some random ass stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what it could be. Stuff like IG. Yeah. All right. So I see 2 Niseis in hand, which is a bit dodgy for the Corp at this point. One run on HQ could really cripple the Corp by getting in, by just getting those out. But he's got another Jackson, so hopefully that should mitigate this fact. So yeah, he's going to make the run on HQ. I feel like you've got a crack here for your refractor. Yeah, and he's going to do it, of course. I mean, you can get it out for free as well. Only problem, I guess, is if it's a Sentry there. I feel like it's not. It's a Cortex Lock. Well, I guess that's firing for 1 net damage. Cortex Lock's pretty fun. I like Cortex Lock in Jinteki. I'm not convinced of it outside of Jinteki. So he's going to see 2 cards out of hand, and we know there's 2 Niseis in there, so I'm going to see the Jackson. Not worth trashing, and he's going to take a Nisei. So that puts the runner quite a bit ahead, I feel. Also, HQ's now been revealed to be extremely undefended. It's going to cost him a stealth credit and a net damage to get in, less if he can just put a program on the table, which is probably not that difficult. That is... Oh my lord, I've never seen one of those. I think that's an alt-art professional context. That's fantastic. I've never seen one of those. I think they're pretty old, if I remember correctly, but that's fantastic. I love that. Also got a clone chip on the table, so he can, if he plays like an Astrolabe or something, or like 1 memory, he can put the SMC back just to say Cortex Lock doesn't exist anymore. Looks like he's gonna make a go at scoring the Nisei. I mean, he's holding it. Yep, so he's gonna make a go of it. So he's going to bank on winning these Caprice Psy games here, because there's not really much going on. I guess the runner just doesn't have enough money. Yeah, that's 2 credits and a lucky find, so it looks like they're going to get the Nisei. 2-2, but with a Nisei token, that's kind of a deal. It's kind of a big deal, actually. So those next Nisei or the next NAPD or whatever, it's going to be a lot easier to steal. However, the runner's now on, looks like 10 credits. Because it was take money, lucky find, deny. Move to 10 with that, so Professional Contacts. I feel like Professional Contacts is a really good card in a deck revolving around the fact you need to get cards into your hand. Quite desperately, as a matter of fact, need to get cards into your hand. Now, we know there was a Himitsu Baku from earlier. I'm gonna just, I'd like to say it's on R&D, but no, it's gonna be the Eli, so I guess he's either dumped it that we haven't seen, or it's gonna be this one. I'm not sure, I've actually lost track. Again, I still need to finish this coffee. That's a pub, so it looks like the Himitsu's still in hand, and I just haven't seen it. I'm guessing. As I said, finish coffee. So he's going to go for the Capri Sun game. I feel like this is the time to do it while it's not heavily defended. And runner loses, but it's going to be that little tax out. Corp with no drip economy at the moment, so that's going to be a bit of a precarious position. I mean, not that precarious, but you know, it's not the best. More ice on R&D. Gets a bit scared of the interfaces that are most likely going to come in, which is pretty reasonable, I feel. I'm still really liking this Professional Contacts. It's fallen a bit out of favour recently, just because of the baby. I feel it like no one's really as much of a fan of Professional Contacts, just because I can just use the baby and I'm never going to draw that much. But in a deck like Stealth Kate, where your turns are probably going to be draw. If I don't have my pieces, draw again. At least you're getting something out of that digging, and it also pays. It's the perfect amount of money to just be like, draw. I take $1. Play a lockpick. I mean, you're Kate, sure, so you're not paying anything, but you'd be like lockpick silencer, so you're paying for your rig. And because I mean, it's not a really expensive rig. Not the cheapest either, because I mean, you've got the interfaces and all that, but it's not the most expensive rig. So, I mean, the runner's got choice here. I mean, there's a decent amount of money there. I think I see about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can make a crack at R&D. I feel like with a Kuroda out, it's not the worst decision. Make another run at HQ, see if there's anything in there. Try get the Caprice again. I feel like that's just taxing yourself out. It's a lot of options. I also feel like this is definitely the time for Jesse to build a little. If there's any economy in there. I'm seeing, oh my lordy, I am enjoying this a lot. Comet. Oh boy, I like this. Gonna crack for the SMC. Making it at HQ, yep. So yep, take 0 from Cortex Lock. That's a really strong move. As I said, then SMC. And I mean, it's not like clone chipping for the SMC is the worst move. You can get out your Switchblade or whatever at some point. So he's the Blacklist. And a Lotus Field, so not going to trash the Blacklist. An interesting choice against a prepaid Kate, but I feel like it's not necessarily a bad move. So it sees another Sunju and a Toll Booth. I feel like the Toll Booth's slightly more important here, but by the same token, does he have the money to take it? So he's going to take the Toll Booth. I feel like it's a little more important. His ice is relatively porous at this point. The Refractor's just like the Refractor's not that great. The Quandary's not that great. Toll Booth is at least it's 3, assuming he gets more lockpicks or cloaks, as the case may be. So it's going to be a dagger and not a switchblade. I can get behind that. I can get behind that just because he's running the Kuroda, which is a very strong barrier breaker, of course. He's running HQ interfaces. There's a lot of reasons to not run the switchblade. Also, if you're only running like 1 or 2 silencers, and you're running more like real dollars, it's like Switchblade's a lot more. I have no dollars, but I break your stuff anyway. Because I've got silencers and cloaks, I don't know. I mean, stealth, like playing with daggers, not something I've done a lot, because I've always, like when I started building stealth, it was after Switchblade was released. And I was like, this looks really good. I'm just going to build for it. And I built it in, the most recent thing I did was I built it in Haley. And I built it with 2 silencers, 2 cloaks. Like, that's the rig. It's 2 cloaks, then there's 3 in the deck, and, like, ghost runners. And that seems to have worked pretty fine. But to be fair, I don't think I've ever seen anyone just straight up stack sentries yet, so. So we'll see what happens. Again, both players are definitely in about a relatively even position. I mean, the Corp's got that Nisei token, which is a big deal. It is a very big deal. I'm not going to say otherwise. Corp's starting to run out of money, though. And starting to run out of ice, and so it's very porous. But there's also that Nisei token and a Caprice, so if you can just get a bit more money, put something down that taxes, and then just play the Caprice side game, I feel like that's going to work really well. Yeah, I feel like it's going to work really, really well. So DBSing, Season of the Nisei. If he can get that out, that's going to be strong. Yeah, if he's going to put it on the bottom of the deck, I feel like he can't at this point. Like, he's not in a strong enough position to make the score. R&D is pretty strong at the moment, just because 2 Elis that's a lot of Elis, to say the least. Blacklist is also going to provide a little bit of support against Kate. Needs to defend it a little, though. Otherwise, it's just going to go trash it. I mean, 3's not that much, but decent amount. So he's going to install over HQ. Not exactly sure what that is. I don't think we've seen it go through his hand. It might be the Himitsu Baku. It might be something else. Could be the toll booth. You never know with these things. Runner's in a much stronger economic position. I don't know, if I was the runner, I'd feel like there's nothing in HQ at the moment, but I'd still want to run it just to see what that ice is. Maybe make another few cracks at that Caprice. Economic position's pretty strong at the moment, and trying to get rid of that Caprice is going to be a big deal. Also the Nisei token. If you can somehow force the Nisei token out, it's also going to improve the position. And getting rid of the Caprice while I'm not sure whether I'm missing anything, but it looks like Corp's only on 6 credits. So, I mean, you can just bid 0 every time. R&D goes down. Gets rid of a Clot and a Proco. Alright. I can get behind that. Don't think there's going to be any fast advance coming out here, but Clot would also need obvious include into decks of these days. There's a lot of NEH fast advance around, and if you're not running NEH fast advance, you're probably running RP. But then there's also a bunch of other fast advance. You know, you got anything with a sand in it. So, Corp is going to burgeon their economy again by flopping their hand out. Looks like you can keep one hidden though, which is always interesting. See Ash. Ash is an interesting card. That's going to be pretty important. Especially as the economic advantage does sway away from the runner. Can't just bust through. Tossing 1. So yeah, lots of options again. I think this is that kind of mid-game. We're not really sure what to do, like precisely sure what to do. But they still kind of want to do things. I mean, the runner's kind of got a full rig. I mean, no second cloak, no more stealth hardware support. More hardware support would be good. So it's going to just toss the blacklist. Looks like he's not convinced that it's going to be that much use, and I feel he's right. Just because it's undefendable. I mean, you get him once. It's like, yeah, you got me. It's go trash it for 3. 'Cause runner has lots of money. Lots of pressure. So again, running HQ. Again, I'm still not convinced there's anything in there. But okay, so it is the toll booth, and again, at the very least, it's gonna It's going to put him to... looks like 5 credits now. It's not as many. I mean, Run has to pay a bit as well, but... 1 real credit, and 3 for the toll booth, of course. Just going to get through. Should be easy. I'm pretty sure there's still nothing in there. But we'll see what... See the Susanoo again. See the hedge fund, okay. So Corp's not exactly all that fussed about going down to 5, especially with a hedge in hand. Hedge obviously being very strong. I guess maybe he was looking for an Ash. He was looking for the Ash. I trashed that. I'm going to get a second lockpick. I think that's going to help a lot, especially against these toll booths, which could be stacked. I'm also pretty sure I see an interns in the Corp's hand. That's also a kind of a big deal. So if you can't really actively go after the Caprice, and I guess that's maybe why Jesse's just not. It's like, well, yeah, I know this guy's going to be running in turns. If I go trash it, it's just going to come straight back like a rubber band. And there's no point in just fighting so hard for a gain of not much. So tossing 1, it looked like a future perfect, so he's going to just try and keep his hand free. I guess it is pretty easy for Jesse to get in. So, alright, lucky find into a modded R&D with that Comet. So, gaining 5 still. No, sorry, because it's Kate. I keep forgetting Kate's a Kate, so it's gaining 6. And a lot of pressure on R&D now. Fewer genders at the bottom of the deck, though, because DBS being alive for a very long time. So I feel like you gotta run Archive to try to force that Jackson shuffle first to try and get them all back in the deck proper. Alright, so it looks like it's gonna be another run at HQ. Sees the Susanoo again. Sees the Sunju this time, so he's gonna get rid of that, I feel. Yeah, gonna get rid of it. I feel that's a good move. Just keep the Corp down in money. I mean, RP's, if I may be so brazen, greatest strength is the fact that their drip economy is just so strong. Looks like this deck is running 2 celebrity gifts because he shuffled 1 back in. It's either 2 or 3, and that's also just really good. It's just 2 clicks, 7 credits. That's really, really efficient. Sure, you got to show your hand, but most of the time RP doesn't really care. Gets shown 2 mental health clinics. Like, well, I'll take this mental health, or I'll take this mental health.
Netrunner players, there are 30 minutes remaining in this round. 30 minutes.
Just got the call for 30 minutes left in the round. I'm pretty sure this game finishes. Hopefully this game finishes. It is game 2, so... I mean, I won't lie. I've played some really long RP. I've played some really long RP games, so maybe it doesn't finish. And we're still on 2-2, but... I'm not convinced this doesn't just straight up finish. So it looks like that blank comes in Executive Boot Camp. That is a really good card. I like that a lot. It lets you... It's not something I've really seen before, but it lets you get those Sunjus, and it lets you get them online. It's pretty undefendable, though. It's the only real thing that I would say worried about, but yeah, worried about. Jesse really doesn't have a... Like, there's still an open central, so he just run something, and then he just runs it, and it pretty much doesn't matter what is there, he can break it. Like, even if it's the Susanoo, he can buff with the Silencer, buff with the Cloak, and then just pay 1 credit. Just 1 credit. 1 credit for a Susanoo no Mikuto. It's, yeah, I feel like Sam here, piloting this RP quite expertly at the moment, is not going to be playing that. For the exact reason that he's currently piloting it expertly. And he knows better. So he's going to make a go at R&D. It's pretty reasonable. Ooh, and the Psy game. So if he wins this Psy game, this could be extremely significant. This could be extremely significant of a Psy game. Ooh, it's the take. That's good. And he's going to see 2 more cards as well. Trash Caprice for 1, okay. Pretty good, I feel, again. Yeah, so 5 points. RP does not like being behind. The significant advantage, though, is that it's either going to cost Jesse 2 clicks and 4 credits to get into R&D, or just 8 credits. And 8 credits is kind of a lot. The only thing is, if he can get enough money, like if he can just play a short gamble on the first click of his next turn, honestly, I would be tempted to just see 3 more cards. I would be tempted just to run R&D again and see 3 more cards. Because he still has enough money for an APDs. Still has enough money for all that. And he's going to go for the Sun Juice, so... Do you break it? Nah, he's not going to break it. That's pretty reasonable, I feel. Going to take the Crick, so he's going to shore up Archives, I guess. No, it's not really that relevant. Silly Refractor. Silly Refractor. Ash is still there, Mental Health Clinic's still there. That DBS has been up for a significant period of time. Getting rid of that might be useful. Again, it also drains the corpse economy, but at this point, it looks like Jesse's going to say, "Yep, money is no object. Money is just never an object anymore." He also knows he doesn't have to hit HQ for the moment, so I'm stalling over R&D. I like that move. So he's going to draw up. I guess he's looking for like a second silencer or something. Or just money cards. Money cards generally would be really good for him at this point. Ghost Runner. That's also a significant option. Gonna see an NAPD and a Caprice on the DBS. I think you just bottom out the NAPD. Just so you don't have it. I mean, Caprice isn't like the best card for you at the moment, but it's also not an NAPD. No, we're gonna bottom out the Caprice. Guess he's gonna try and make a score, or just try and get it out of the deck. I feel like either is reasonable. Looks like he's gonna go for the score though. He's got the Nisei counter. It's pretty good. It's also a bit risky if he can play something else to get rid of that Nisei counter. Probably not that difficult for him to get in twice. NAPD, the fact it isn't an NAPD will pose problems though. Ooh, the dog. So he's going to have R&D a lot easier of a time. A lot easier of a time. Run the R&D. And what's up the top? I mean, I think that's going to be a very important what's up the top. So it's going to be nothing. 2 tokens, 1 real credit, C3 cards. This could just be game. Gonna blow the Nisei counter. I feel like that's a good move. We also know this isn't. Wait, is it a Nisei counter? No, he's running again. This time it's gonna be a crick. Yeah, just use lockpicks. And then it's gonna be 2 credits, 2 tokens, just enough money for an NAPD steal. Nothing, nothing, nothing. The full whiff. So it looks like the NAPD will be scored out for the court. Putting him on 4 points. Can't see that off the side of the screen. I guess that's one advantage of live commentary. You don't really forget too quickly. So an unfortunate whiff from Jesse, but I mean, I guess again, most of them are at the bottom at the moment. I know we've at home seen a good few go to the bottom, thanks to DBS. So yeah, it's an Enigma and a Lotus Field. Enigma's slightly more taxing, but Lotus Field forces the boost, I guess. But I'm obviously this turn it will be a score out.
of the NAPD, so 4-4. Guess he's got to make sure that the Future Perfect doesn't get out, so it looks like it could just be a 3-agenda game for the runner, which is always not what you want to see as a corp, but so just going to Proco out. Got the Dirty Laundry in hand. I'm a big fan of that. Diesel up, sees a lucky find, an R&D interface. I think that last one's a Ghost Runner. Not the best angle. Okay, done a Dirty Laundry. Archives, yep. Force that shuffle. Force that shuffle. I feel like it's a really good move. Yep, get that shuffle, get that shuffle. See more cards. One more click, it looks like, or Comet. Comet's a thing. No, so it's just going to be Ghost Runner. So we're going to see some more draws. No agendas. No agendas, no Nisei counter for the Corp. Not a very difficult R&D. Can't really do it too many times, but... Also out of Lady tokens. I can take an assumption that there's a scavenge or a clone chip or a something to return the Lady back to full strength, or just use the Corroder. But we will see. I like the idea of using both Lady and Corroder. I think, Lady takes care of the Eli's and all that for very cheap, and then Corroder can just deal with the other BS. So it looks like I think it's another Caprice at the end of R&D. It's pretty ballsy. If he gets through, he's got to make the choice whether to res the Caprice on R&D. Oh no, it looks like he hasn't installed the agenda on hasn't installed the upgrade on R&D. Instead it looks like he's just going to ice to about $1 billion. Which is pretty good. I mean, there's not really much else you can say, but I feel like that's a pretty good strategy of keeping the runner out of R&D. Lots of Ghost Runner credits though, so it's not like a Susanoo is going to be a problem. It's not like much is going to be a problem. The problem, I feel, is you've got to get those Lady tokens back. You've got to get back in the game of breaking those Eli's for really cheap. Lucky find. And Maker's Eye. Ooh. He's pretty confident. I feel like if he can get through its game. He's seeing enough cards. I mean, what is it? It's 1 extra, 2 extra, 4 extra, so we're going to see 5 cards. It's going to be a Sarugi, it looks like. Sarugi's pretty good, but it's going to be a boost. Yep, break. Maybe just take net damage? I mean, you got to do the math, I guess, right? Yep, so he's just going to use all his real credits. See 5 cards. You got to see, and even if he sees an NAPD, he's got it with the Ghost Runner. Ooh, it's Future Perfect. Hey, Future Perfect for the game here. Important side game. Neither player's on a particularly large amount of credits. Nope, it's going to be 1-0. See more cards, though. That's it, it's a Hades. So, Jesse taking it 2-0 over Sam. I'd like to thank these gentlemen for coming under the camera and from coming down all the way from Melbourne, from their cozy little homes to our little hole in the south. Adelaide's not that bad, I guess. Anyway, so 2 really, really good games. So we saw a NEH versus Kate prepaid, with NEH taking it, and we saw a Stealth Kate against RP, with Kate taking it. So that's going to be it for these 2. that's going to be it for these two, and we'll see you in the next round.